I was a really great event producer, but running a business is a whole different ballgame.
Yeah.
So I didn't go to business school. I didn't even look to mentor. I didn't even have someone I could turn to, which is so weird because now there's so many avenues to get mentorship, which is amazing.
Hi everyone, welcome back to another episode of Make It Count. Today I have a new friend that embodies creativity, purpose, empowerment, Hala Bissada from Spirit of Niagara. Thank you for joining me.
I'm so happy to be here, Michelle.
It's crazy, right? We became instant friends.
We did.
Right?
We only met a few weeks ago.
I know, and it feels like I've known you forever.
I know.
And I feel like that's the trend.
Yeah.
I met you at an Empower Her event, and those events are amazing, right? Like they just bring such collective together, and we have very different backgrounds, but you find so much unity in learning about someone else's background.
You do, and it's intimate, so you can really, really have good conversations with everyone. And I think I've already have like 3 new friends from the one event that I went to. It was my first Empower event. It was absolutely amazing. I really enjoyed it.
That's awesome. I know. It's so funny when you said, hey, we're going to shout out to Antoinette, okay? Like,
yes.
Who also is on the podcast. And like, isn't it crazy how you start to build your own network of connections and you don't know where that's going to take you?
Never. You never know where it's going to take you. And that's actually the fun part of, these networking events. You just never know who you're going to meet, how they might support you, how you might support them. It's actually really fun.
Yeah. And I will say though, but you have such an amazing personality, but what did attract me to you when I first saw you was your outfit as well as today. And I was like, and then I went like this, your shoes. And I was like, oh my God, like she has such the coolest shoes. Do you ever find you are attracted to certain things on people? It could be eyes, it could be jewelry. For me, it's shoes. And today I'm looking at your shoes. I'm like, oh my God, so cool, right? Yeah.
Well, a shout out to Johnny Blue Vlog,
Hello?
an amazing Canadian designer, and his shoes are like art pieces. Yeah. So I love his stuff.
Has that been your statement piece? Do you feel like shoes have been your statement piece?
Yeah, they're a big statement piece. I'm a little bit more more traditional, plain, but my boots give my outfit personality.
Yeah, that's awesome. So tell us a bit about Spirit of Niagara. How did it come to be, this beautiful business that you're creating?
Well, it came to be, I've led Hala Inc. for the past 25 years. We're an international award-winning firm. As it's been 25 years and we've done, events around the world. And this came out of a passion for the Niagara region. I love it. I've been coming here all my life. It's a special place. It has its own spirit, which is why I called it Spirit of Niagara. There's an authenticity, there's charm, there's a lot of storytelling here, and people don't really realize it. They just think Niagara's Niagara Falls, or they just think the vineyards, but that is not the case. There are so many artisans, growers. There's just so much talent here, and my passion for events and storytelling, this is just a beautiful landscape for that. To bring events to life that honor these amazing, talented storytellers, and then bring people here to the region that I love so that they can discover it the way I've always, known it to be.
What are some events that you run? What are the type of events that you run with Spirit of Niagara?
Well, we just launched, and so we have 3 signature events this year that we're launching. Our first one is called Glow in the Vines. So it's a beautiful wellness culinary event. We have a beautiful 2-hour journey of breathwork, meditation, yoga with some of the best international guides out there. It's all underscored by an incredible acoustic guitarist who actually is a lead guitarist for an indie band, and he's absolutely gorgeous on top of it.
Sign me up.
His name, yeah, exactly, Jean-Luca.
Oh my God, the name.
Yeah, Jean-Luca, he's quite stunning. And then we have two really incredible speakers. We have one of Canada's leading entrepreneurs. She launched a company called Sipology. She was on Dragon's Den, and she's absolutely phenomenal. And the other speaker is Sarah Westbrook, and she actually has a musical background, but now she speaks and kind of combines her music, and
it's
she'll
like poetry.
it's like poetry. So her talk will be about emotional resilience and things like that. And then we have workshops and we have activations. You can learn calligraphy. You can learn dot mandala painting. Like there's all kinds of activations. Of course, there's a wine tour because it's taking place at Chateau de Charme. So you'll get an exclusive wine tour and
we
intimate
wanted to
tasting.
get married there. I remember.
Really?
I know. When I had a big Italian family, and
oh my God,
and they couldn't I was like, okay, this is too much family for this. But that is a beautiful space.
It is such a beautiful. It's like a beautiful castle.
Yeah.
And it just makes such a beautiful backdrop. And they're going to be outside, so the vineyard is going to be their backdrop.
Wow.
So it's a full day of like food, wine, activations. There's so much to do in that day, but that 2-hour journey is going to be incredibly special.
And do you feel like, well, what do you want them to get from this event? Like, you know how like we live in this fast-paced world, right? Just the way you're describing it. You're such a storyteller. So you can visualize yourself there.
100%.
Something like, did you want them to feel like more relaxed, more zen, tap into their inner child? Like, what do you want them to get from this event?
I want them to have a moment to pause. People don't pause in their daily life. I don't think they take enough time to take a pause. I think connection is a big thing. They're going to meet like-minded people. It's a moment to connect. And it's joy. It's a joyful event. And so all of those things combine: connections, joy, a moment to work on yourself. People, sometimes you don't work on yourself. You just think, whatever. But, you don't take that, like during the day, take a moment to have a tea and reflect.
Welcome to Visibility Boosters. We help businesses get visible online and gain clarity inside their business. From systems and operations to smarter use of AI so they can streamline, scale, and grow efficiently. The reality is that 99% of business owners don't know how to use AI tools in a way that actually saves time and drives growth. That's exactly what we do for our clients. Let's get into it.
It's
Take
so
a moment
hard,
to walk.
right?
Yeah.
And I think that events like this are amazing because we are living in a fast-paced world, and we do like to schedule everything. Like I have 3 kids, everything is scheduled, and it's easier to say than do, where it's like, okay, take a pause in the day, because then you kind of feel guilt, right? But something where it's like programs, you're going to it, you're connecting with like-minded people, you see other people doing that. I think we need more of that. Like our nervous system, especially what's going on in the world today, it feels like we need more events that just like bring us back to ground zero.
I agree with you 100%. It's just, I feel that as women in particular, like you said, we have so much going on in our daily lives. We put ourselves last. And I think it's important to put ourselves first sometimes. And, it's an opportunity to do it with a friend, do it with your mom, do it with your sister. I have 3 of my cousins coming. I have some of my best friends coming. So it's going to be really fun.
What do you like about Niagara? Because I know you're originally from GTA.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
So like when I first met you, I thought like you were a resident of Niagara.
Yeah.
That's
I
how much
know.
you're like so passionate about the area. And we do live in such a vibrant, beautiful area. I do have to say that.
Yeah.
And I feel grateful. But what drew you to Niagara?
Oh my God, so many things. Being in Toronto, I mean, you've got 2 seasons, like I feel, in construction and construction. I mean, that's all you got, right? The moment I make my way down towards the region, I all of a sudden can breathe. I almost feel I'm excited. I'm joyful. all of a sudden the stress just goes away.
Yeah.
And, I don't mind driving. Like, I hate driving in Toronto. I love driving in Niagara because everywhere you look, it's absolutely stunning. Driving along and seeing the vineyards, seeing the farms, all of those different things. It's really quite amazing. But I love the culinary aspect of Niagara, the restaurants that we have here. People don't even realize what's here. Like, we have Michelin star restaurants here.
Absolutely.
It's the wineries, of course. I'm a member of so many wineries. And what I love about that too is all the events that they put on.
Yeah.
So there's always something to do here. Do you want to sip and paint? Do you want to, bring your dogs to a winery day?
Yeah.
Do you want to learn how to make pizza? I mean, there's so many fun, what I say, sip and learn activities. So, and it's also a really close-knit community.
Yeah.
That's really very welcoming. And everybody has a story.
Absolutely.
One of my events is called the Speakeasy. It's a big Halloween event that's taking place in the fall.
Ooh.
And it's all speakeasy theme. And we're doing it at the Spirit in Niagara Distillery.
Ooh, I've been there.
Have you?
Love the
It
ambiance
is
there.
gorgeous. And it's perfect for our event.
Halloween, right? It's old, wood and ooh.
1920s glam.
Yes.
But the guy behind Spirit in Niagara Distillery is interesting. His name's Arnie, and he's a farmer. And the reason why he started his distillery was because he was sick and tired of fruit being thrown away and wasted. So he decided to use it to make his spirits, and he's very mischievous. Spirit in Niagara Distillery, short sin. So just let your imagination go with how he plays on sin.
Man. Wow.
Yeah, he's really, really fun.
How different are the events that you're planning with Spirit of Niagara than the events that you've planned or currently planning, bigger events?
Well, the events I do under Hala Inc., a lot of them are big charity galas and golf tournaments and brand launches and things like that. What I love about what I'm building with Spirit of Niagara, even though I'm offering my event planning services here, because I think companies should come here and do their events. It's local. It's amazing. We can create a beautiful experience for them, whether it's a retreat or a conference or whatever it is that they might be looking for. I get to design these events. So, obviously with a client, you might be dictated to a little bit. You have to meet certain objectives that they want to achieve. They have certain budgets, things like that. Not that my budget is huge, extravagant, at least not yet. But I get to be the storyteller. I get to create the experience. And I look at it from every guest touch point. I look at it from how we're talking to them before we do the event, during the event, after the event. For me, building these really joyful, connected experiences actually brings me so much joy. I love it. I love being able to create something unique, beautiful. I love to showcase people, the growers, the farmers, the makers. So you're going to meet a lot of local Niagara at my events, and that's the whole point.
Yeah.
I'm here to honor the region and the people that make it special. So that's what I get to do, which is really
so cool.
awesome.
I love that about this. I'm always so curious, when you were growing up, were you a creative person? I always try to think okay, so this is the career job you're in now. And what were you like as a child?
I know, that's so funny that you say that, because in high school, I was the one planning all the parties for all my friends. But back then you didn't think events was actual career.
Yeah.
But I would do scavenger hunts, and then I would do theme parties, whether it was Toga, turquoise and tacky.
Gosh, I wish I knew you.
Oh yeah. Every weekend I was planning something for I got a really close group of friends from high school that I'm still friends with to this day.
Oh.
They are a really special group of people. And yeah, I was always doing that. And then, when I was at university, I did an event for the Keg, just because I worked there and I thought they should do something for charity. So I ended up doing a walk for sick kids, and that's where my whole career started in events. It was all through my volunteer work and by accident. And back then, there weren't even any educational programs around event planning. Now, there's educational programs.
And here in Niagara,
big.
hospitality programs.
Quick pause before we get back to the episode. If you're enjoying this so far, please subscribe to our YouTube channel and leave us a quick review on Google or Spotify. Those reviews help us grow our rankings and credibility, which allows us to bring on bigger guests and deliver more value to you. We really appreciate the support. Now, let's jump back in.
Yeah. I mean, look at Niagara College and, the amazing talent that
Even
they
the culinary.
have. Yeah, exactly. Wow. So it was all, I guess it was meant to be.
It was.
Yeah.
Did you ever face any challenges that really defined your either career or your personal life?
I think the biggest challenge was for me, I was a really great event producer, but running a business is a whole different ballgame.
Yeah.
So I didn't go to business school, I didn't even look to mentor. I didn't even have someone I could turn to, which is so weird because now there's so many avenues to get mentorship, which is amazing. So instead, I made so many mistakes. I almost lost my home. I almost lost my business. I've had other businesses not work.
Yeah.
And it's just been a huge learning curve. So for me, I think that was my biggest challenge was learning how to run a business because
it's not easy. And I share this quite often, probably if everyone's watched this. It's not for the faint of heart, right? No. My husband and I have run multiple businesses and some did amazing, some didn't. But I think that entrepreneurship or owning your own business, it's a different breed of a human.
It is.
Right? We and I read this, I can't put into to words, but it was like working at a 9 to 5, which I did, obviously at a university. And those that run their business are like two different animals, like cat and dog. Mm-hmm. You really don't understand the other person because like when you're running your own business, like you're always on.
Yep.
And you must like failure because
right?
You do it often and often and often.
Yeah.
And failure becomes one of those things where it's a natural occurrence and you accept it. Right. I'm definitely not a type A personality because
really?
I'm not. I know.
Oh,
right.
That's shocking.
Really?
Yeah.
You thought I was type A?
Well, I would say anybody who's an entrepreneur is usually type A. So
I have like OCD tendencies on certain things, but then other things I'm like, whatever. Like I think my husband's going to laugh at this comment, but like we'll do things and we're in the same business, but he'll be like, did you proofread that? Did you tell him? Like, it's fine. And it's like mistakes. I'm like, whatever. I'm like, I don't look at the world like that, right?
Yeah.
But everyone has their own strengths. I feel like if you kind of hone in on your strengths and like we always like preach like automate what you can automate, right? And I learned early on too that running multiple different employees is difficult for me, right? Because I want to be everyone's friend.
I don't think that's the fun part of running a business. It's not.
I know. That is actually the hard part of the business. It's like, I want to be this, I want to be that, I want to be this. But you're right. Like learning to do things that are not in your skill set, that's a different breed of a human.
And when you're running a small business, you're wearing so many different hats. And I think early on, when I had my first failure, which was in 2007, where I almost lost my home, I took it so hard. And it's funny how as you progress in your world of entrepreneurship, you realize not to sweat the small stuff. Yeah. But back then, every little thing that went wrong, it took such an emotional toll on me. And now I'm like, okay, on we go. That didn't work. All right, now what? Let's figure it out, And
I think that's a common theme. Like, I've had so many guests and I think pivoting and like, just like you got to move on. You can't stay stagnant. You can't just sit there and dwell on the mistake. It's like the lesson is there. What did we learn from it? Right?
Exactly.
It's harder, obviously, to do, but I think that's what makes us more resilient to change.
Yeah.
Okay. I know you said you watch the show and I like to play games and I always like to just get into people's mind, right? Like I've said this so many times, like I was the kid that talked all the time in class. Like I was like, I'm sorry. Like I just don't understand how I can't talk during a test. But Now it serves my purpose because
That's hilarious.
I just like to like observe and talk and like, I was like, oh, I'm scared to get in front of the camera. I'm like, you are? And the mic? Like, give me the mic. Okay. So this is a cool game. And I've shared before, my husband saw it actually. We watched Dragon's Den and Shark Tank, but this was on Shark Tank.
Okay.
So anytime we can support entrepreneurs, we're doing that. Okay. So it's asking you questions that are something you would do like at a dinner party.
Okay.
It's like really intriguing questions, but just gets to know someone's personality.
Okay. That sounds good. All right.
So when was the last time you were proud of yourself?
Oh, that's a good one. I would say recently,
Ooh.
just getting Spirit of Niagara off the ground. Something that I knew I wanted to do for so long, and finally putting what I had always dreamed of doing into action. So I was proud of myself. Yeah.
Okay. What's the one thing you wish you could go back and lie about?
Oh my God. You're talking to someone who like prides herself on telling the truth always. What
You're the person at the grocery store like me. Is like life story, like, and Linda, and this is what happened. And it's like, oh hi, we're best friends now.
I don't know. I would say, well, I'm just gonna say like, thank God they didn't have phones back when I was in high school, because I would probably want to lie about a lot of things I did back then.
Oh my God, you're funny. Okay. What's the most important lesson you learned from the job you hated the most?
Oh my God, I've never hated a job that I've had.
Oh.
Because I've only had 2 jobs before I started Hala Inc. And they were both charitable organizations. One was Children's Aid.
So you've always been aligned in your passion.
I always loved charities that focused on children, and I worked for Sick Kids and Children's Aid Foundation. And I was so lucky. I had the most amazing bosses, like the most amazing mentors.
Oh my gosh, you're blessed.
I'm blessed that way. Yeah,
That's
I've
awesome.
never had a job I hated.
Okay.
Yeah.
Share an experience that changed your life for the better. How did it change?
I would say, from a work perspective, it wasn't fun at the time, but I had a really challenging client that really changed my perspective on how to run my business, and that changed it for the better. So at the time, it was actually a really horrible experience because they were so challenging and difficult. But at the end of the day, it actually helped me improve my business. So I see it as a blessing.
Quick heads up. If you prefer to consume this content in audio form, you can listen to us on all your favorite podcast platforms like Spotify and Apple Podcasts. And if you're listening right now and want to watch these episodes, including our visuals and skits, make sure you follow us on YouTube and Visibility Boosters. All right, back to the episode.
Yeah, it's one of those lessons where it's like it was difficult, but it made you better.
It made me better. It made me
Have you ever
run my business.
fired a client?
Yes.
Ooh.
Only twice in my whole time that I've had my business.
I think that's the hardest thing to do.
Yeah, it was. And both times it was absolutely necessary.
Wow.
Yeah. I really believe in partnership with a client. Like, you're a partner. You're an extension of their team. You're an extension of their business. You're only working really super hard to make them look good. Mm-hmm. And, in the case of a charitable organization, to create a memorable experience, have them raise tons of money for their mission. And when that's not reciprocated and there's no respect, that is really challenging. And when it's hard on your team and you love your team and you don't want them to have to deal with something like that, that's really hard. And I try and work, like when I fired those 2 clients, I really tried to save it. Yeah. But at the end of the day,
sometimes things are just like, release what doesn't serve you.
Yeah. It's a 2-way street. And, I always say, and I'm going to say this to any entrepreneur, don't take business because you need it. I know that's a luxury, but take business if it's on point to what you really want to do and it's a good fit and that they see you as a partner, know?
I think as you get into your business, I think that's one of the lessons and maybe easier to do as you get into your business, because when you're starting out, I think those are the many lessons, right?
Yeah.
But, and we've been blessed, but there have been times where, you have to take a pause, like you've said, and said, okay, like, is this a hell yes?
Yeah.
And my husband says this now all the time, and it's really stuck with me. Is this a hell yes? Because if it's not a hell yes, it's a hell no.
Yeah.
And like,
Yes.
if it's going to be a hell no, like, could you imagine the grief? And it's like a domino effect. It'll affect you. It'll affect your personal, your emotional health, you know, the household, the employees. And it's like, where does this end?
Oh, yeah.
Toxicity is contagious.
It is. And it really does take its toll emotionally on you. So I'm with you with the hell yes or the hell no.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
Do you lead with your emotion or your logic?
I really do lead with my emotion, and it's can be a problem.
That's why we're the same.
I have to really take a pause. By the way, ChatGPT is my therapist. I'm not even
think
joking.
he's everyone's
talk to
therapist.
ChatGPT all the time. Talk me down from the ledge. You know, and I literally have conversations with ChatGPT.
But you know what? Like, okay, as much as everyone, you know, I think it goes both ways.
Yeah.
People are either no way, never using that. And people are like, yeah, you know what? I'm totally doing it. I think there could be a happy medium.
Oh, yeah, I agree.
But the thing with these tools is I do believe, personally, I've seen it, and we've empowered many, many people. They have helped communication skills. They have helped you see a different perspective that you may once never, right? Like, how many times have you got an email at the end of the day and you want to respond right now? You're like, ah. But then you take that pause or you put it into chat and be like, hey, like, am I reading this wrong? Right?
Yes.
And that's where the therapist comes through. It's like, no, you should not send that.
Exactly. And
know?
it does tell you, and it gets to know your personality too,
100%.
right?
And sometimes you could change the prompt and be like,
Yeah.
be honest with me. Okay, don't, and that's where I think it's help expand our communication skills and maybe offer guidance where maybe as a new business owner, you don't really have the budget for hiring a mentor or hiring a guidance, right? Obviously, human connection is 100% key, but this is something that is a tool I think that more people should be taking advantage of.
Oh, yeah. I mean, it's like having an extra employee in the office.
And we advocate and we help, owners buy back their time. So you can go to events like Spirit of Niagara events. Like, you can enjoy life because you shouldn't be chained to your work.
Yeah.
Right?
And it's hard. And as you know, as an entrepreneur, like when you're building something, there's a leap of faith.
Yes.
And, every once in a while, I have to take a moment and step back. And, when you're biting your nails and grinding your teeth because you're like, oh my God, is this going to be successful? I'm pouring my heart and soul into this. Because people on the other end, sometimes they don't really understand what you're investing in, both emotionally, financially, when you're building something. And so, it's also, I'm talking about ChatGPT. It helps encourage you to take a moment and say what you're building is really unique and visionary. And, you have that with your friends who are obviously supporting you as well. But it's nice to get some articulation around that, you know. And for me now, I've developed my own intentions and what I'm grateful for. And I try to read those in the morning and in the evening to really ground myself and remind myself that I'm so lucky, in so many ways. And building Spirit of Niagara, even though it can be painful, it also brings a lot of joy.
100%, because it's yours.
It's mine.
It's your identity.
And it's my vision. And because I'm hoping to bring that joy to other people. That's my biggest, I've always been like a host.
Yeah.
Whether I was younger planning events for my friends or just dinner parties with my friends.
It becomes
I love
personal,
to host.
right? Like someone coming to your event is like coming to your home.
Yeah. And by the way, you're coming to a dinner party that I'm hosting. I brought 8 people, women together, amazing women together. It came together like literally in 24 hours. I had 8 really very different women coming to this dinner. Yeah. And I love that. Like, I love that so much. And they're all my new friends. Most of them are from Niagara, my new friends in Niagara that I've really,
oh my goodness. And I love that because it just must be in alignment.
Yeah.
Right? When things like, obviously I'm a universe girl, 1111. But when things are in alignment, it just clicks.
Yeah.
Just like this connection. It just clicks, just makes sense. I love it. And one more thing on that is that I saw a quote, and I'm all about like reading these quotes and mindset as well. And it said that most people chase another life instead of just pause to be grateful for the one they have.
That's actually really quite nice.
And I was like, ooh, we're always thinking like, okay, what can we do next? What's this? What's that? What's that? And it's like, did you ever just pause to think like you have things in front of you that you're just too blind to see?
Yeah.
And it happens to all of us. It happens to myself too. You're always like, oh, what's the next best thing? But then you have to really take a perspective of like what's going on in our world.
Yeah.
And
that's it. And I think social media plays a big part in that sometimes because, sometimes I get depressed when I'm looking at social media.
You look at someone's
why does everybody's
highlights.
life look so fantastic, you know? And, and I think that is when you should take a pause and look at what you have, And it's funny because I'm just learning about social media. I've never really had to really be on it, and I haven't controlled
You're not alone,
But in Spirit of Niagara, like it's my story, so I want to tell it. So I'm taking much more interest in what I'm saying and what I'm communicating.
Thanks for tuning in to this episode of Make It Count. If you got value from today's conversation, make sure you subscribe to our YouTube channel and follow us on all social media platforms at Visibility Boosters. We've got more great episodes and guests coming your way. We'll see you in the next one.
But I do have to say, like, when I'm on there and I'm seeing some of your posts that make me laugh so much with you, like, dancing your way, I see people really taking shots at themselves to make everybody else laugh.
Yeah.
Oh, my God. I sometimes cry.
I know.
I'm laughing so hard at some of these posts.
I know. If someone looked at my social media, it's like cat videos, perimenopause, like people just like, you know what? We need a good laugh, right?
Oh,
if
yeah.
you can't laugh, I'm sorry. You're taking life way too seriously. Okay. Last question for you.
Yeah.
What are your top 3 ingredients for happiness?
Dogs. My dogs.
What type of dogs do you have?
I have 3 dogs. 2 of them are rescues. One's a Pouchon.
What's that?
It's a poodle Bichon mix.
Ooh.
And one's a Maltese
tiny.
poodle. And one's like a friggin' mutt. She is like, her name's Apple. She comes from Texas. And oh my God, she's got so much personality. She keeps the 2 boys in check. Like she's hilarious.
So girl and 2 boys.
Girl and 2 boys. And oh boy, does she put them through their paces. Like I love it. Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
She's so cute. So she brings me happiness. I mean, they bring me happiness.
So your dogs, okay.
I would say my friends bring me so much joy. I have my 2 besties. One lives in New York and one is in Toronto. They've been through so much with me. And I had a big milestone birthday this year, and six of my closest friends went down to Tulum, and we had a blast. So they bring me joy. And then my partner, Kevin. Yeah. Kevin, we've been together 15 years. And he makes me laugh every single day, like every day, even though some days are so hard and I'm crying and I'm angry and I'm this and that. He always finds something to say to me to uplift me and make me laugh. Yeah.
Aww,
so I adore him.
Okay. You're such cute.
Yeah.
Okay. And the last thing that you could offer, a piece of advice for any business owner or an entrepreneur that wants to start their own business, is fearful, not sure if they can do it, what piece of advice would you offer them?
I would say, there's so many things I would say. I would love to tell people not to make my mistakes and tell them everything that I did wrong.
Yeah.
But I would really find someone that you can support you in launching your business, someone that's a mentor, someone who can look at everything you're developing and, give you the guidance. I never had the guidance. I would have loved that. And I also think that people should really know their self-worth. You know what I mean? Like, sometimes people give things away, and I really don't feel like in our industry, events, people give their full design.
Yeah.
You can't give that away. As an industry, you have to support each other and go, people need to pay for that. Yeah. They can't just expect you to give that for free. So, as well, like, it's okay to stand up for yourself, because there's going to be so many moments where either someone might want to take advantage of you or don't talk to you respectfully, or, dictate something to you that you don't agree with, but you don't know what to do and how to handle it. Like,
it's so true about the whole giving away for free. Like, and I've said this quite often to people. It's like, do you go to the grocery store and grab food and say, hey, like, can I just try this? And if I like it, I'll buy it. Like, do we do that? Like, even, I think we forget that sometimes as business owners and corporations. Like, we're okay to go to a big box store and buy things, right? Things that maybe you don't even need. You're just buying it, right? You go to the till and it's like, that's what it is. That's the cost. Okay, gone. But then someone who is providing a service, and the service involves their time, their energy, their strategy, their brain, their knowledge. And you're like, oh, is this for free? Like, I really question that sometimes, where is it just the culture we're living in that we just expect things now? Where does that come from?
I don't know. And I taught, because, I'm a thought leader in my industry. I'm always telling, my colleagues in the industry, you're ruining it for all of us. Don't give it away. There's so many, and I stick to it. There's so many RFPs request for proposals I don't respond to, because they're asking you for everything, the full design, the budget, renders, everything. And I'm like, hello, I'm not going to participate in that. I just won't. I want you can judge me on my experience and what I brought to the table. It's also, they're missing out as a thoughtful process. I don't want to just throw something out there. Yeah, like, I want to get to know the client first and really understand what they've done, where they're going, what are their priorities before I even design an event, So it's not to their advantage anyway. But, you know what? I get it. Some people, money is a factor. And, 100% and I get it. I get it. I just wish more people would stand up for this, because, you wouldn't expect a neurosurgeon to give their skill away for free, would you? Like, I don't know. I hope not.
I don't know. I'm not gonna say anything about it.
But I do feel like in some of the creative agencies, they just expect you to give stuff for free.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah.
But this was so nice.
Yeah.
I loved having you here. And
me too.
I'm so excited for our friendship and our connection.
Yeah,
and we're going to post everything on Spirit of Niagara. Take a look at the events, because this will give you a chance to connect, pause, and really immerse yourself in our Niagara culture. And 100%. I think that is what you want people to experience.
Exactly.
And I loved our conversation.
Me too.
Thank you so much. Hope you
Thanks
come
for
back.
having me.
Yeah, it was great.
I'll come back anytime. You make it so easy.
Thank you so much for watching, and we'll hope to see you next time.